Hello, everybody, and welcome to F1 Down Under. My name's Hayley,
I'm Matt.
and this is our race reaction to the Imola Grand Prix. Well, a clean start, first of all.
Yeah, very clean getaway. I think Lando struggled, didn't he? Bogged down a little bit.
Yes, but surprising no turn one incidents for Imola, seeming guaranteed 100% race safety car incidents. There was none.
Yeah, it was a very clean getaway. Everyone was playing very nicely. I think Hamilton got a decent start.
Gained 2 places.
Um,
If you're going to get a place, get it in the early stages. Otherwise,
yeah,
you're going to be stuck in traffic.
yeah,
And the interesting thing on the first lap was you had different people on different strategies in the top 10.
yeah, and I think those that were trying to get away quickly on that first lap, Gasly and Alonso on the soft, didn't really work out for them. But maybe it was just more a case of
Hoping for that safety car.
one, hoping for a safety car, but two, I think also that they're knowing near they were back of the grid, they were just going to pit early and end up in space anyway because they'd have a lot of space behind them.
Yes, and then Joe Perez on the hards,
Yeah,
which was very interesting to watch as the race developed because everyone had pitted and then you got Perez and Joe on a different strategy.
yeah, and the other person that went long, even though he was on the mediums, was Lance Stroll. So
Yes, on the mediums. So when everyone else was pitting, you would have thought Stroll was on the same strategy, but he just managed to keep his tyres intact. So
yeah,
it was very interesting watching this and
uh,
strategy develop
yeah.
really
The
for
main, the
Stroll.
main, I think the main driver of the strategy wasn't the undercut or the overcut. It was just can we put someone into space. Um,
Give
and
him
I,
some clean air for the one lap warm up.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I thought obviously Albon went in quite pitted early, but then they threaded his nut on the wheel, so he ended up having to serve that penalty as well, didn't he, for unsafe
Yes.
release? So
And then unfortunately then also retiring the car.
yeah, but he got rid of the penalty, didn't he? At least
Yes.
he served that penalty, so it doesn't carry through onto the race, which was probably the best result they could get out of all of that. I think.
Yes. Sometimes serving the penalty, so carrying it on is best. But it was interesting, speaking of all the pit stops and stuff, how they influenced each other because you had, before Albon retired, he was struggling, just stuck behind Nico Hulkenberg, wasn't he? And Sonoda.
Yeah,
So then he pitted, got clean air, and then lap 12, Ricardo pitted due to this backlog,
yeah,
couldn't get past anyone. But then a lap later, Hulkenberg, who the car was behind, pitted and Sonoda was in front. So
yeah.
the undercut did work a little bit, but it was more depending on the gap of the drivers.
Yeah. It was. There were definitely a few kind of DRS trains
Yes.
appearing. But Max didn't make a. I think he got to 6 or 7 seconds out
And it just stayed that. It just plateaued.
until right late on in the race when Norris started to seem to catch up. So I think it was.
Yes.
He finally put some pressure onto Max.
Yes, the McLarens are looking very fast.
Yeah, I don't know what Oscar could have done if he'd have been on that for start. With his qualifying penalty, could have
Yeah.
got both McLarens in on the podium, but
These are all unanswered questions.
Charles snuck it in on the eventually, didn't he? In third, so and then Lando right behind Verstappen, less than a second at the end of the race. So
And that's the closest challenge we've seen to Red Bull. So it's going to be exciting to see how this battle continues on.
yeah, any sort of surprised as a driver of the day?
Well, I think Lando did deserve driver of the day because he was so close. But for me, driver of the day, I think just before, I know we kind of say Stroll doesn't do very well sometimes, but Stroll managed to keep his tyres for the same length as the people of the hards. So I do think Stroll did very well
Yeah,
on
he did.
that.
He made that strategy work. I know he gets, like I say, he's maligned a lot, but he did. You know, that got him out of the, from not being in the points to being in the points. So certainly on that race, he did better than
His teammate.
Fernando. So might be rare occasion, but I think that's worth a shout out. I mean, for me, I think I think Lando probably did do it. He did put a lot of pressure onto Max at the end. So for me, he was the one that was sort of creating the most excitement towards the end and probably pushed the most. So that was good to see.
Yeah,
But not really any other
no.
surprises. Disappointment for Williams, but that's just me. I'm always, but
Yep. So that's the Imola Grand Prix race reaction. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.